Red Suit Interviews, and we are joined by the man, the myth, the legend, NateIsLame. How are you today, my good sir?
I'm doing stellar. I thought that was so cool because, like, for you guys watching, he did like a countdown from, to say, "Hey, we're gonna go live." It was like the iCarly theme song. It was pretty validating.
Hey, man, you gotta keep that iCarly rap. Like everything that I've done, in this setup with this videos, the interviews, is all been modeled after the iCarly production team. I know that a lot of, especially Australian news teams, especially model it afterwards. It really just sort of set the peak standard for anything, really.
iCarly is the golden standard of everything. I think we should just build our democracy around that sitcom.
I think so. I think we just like make fun of Dewey, is it, in it, and just go from there.
No, you're thinking Malcolm in the Middle.
Fuck. Oh, by the way,
I love Malcolm in the Middle, by the way.
Yeah. By the way, we can swear in parts, so it's fine. So if you want to say naughty words, it's all good.
Well, heck yeah.
Heck yeah, my brother. Anyway,
that's pretty spicy.
Very, very spicy. So for those who are watching and have no idea who you are, and that's a rarity, who are you and what do you do?
Hi, my name is NateIsLame. I do white supremacist rants. I talk about the eradication of the white race. I talk about preserving our culture. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Well, okay, I got the wrong NateIsLame one. Thanks everyone for watching, and we'll see you guys next time.
Hi, my name is NateIsLame. I do animated story times, but mine are sad. It's my job to give you an existential crisis. And I talk about screamo music as if your mom doesn't like me enough. And I haven't uploaded in half a year.
Yeah, I guess
we're doing good.
Yeah, so because I know you've made videos in the past, especially like talking about the sort of the struggles, especially with being an online creator and putting out content. So has this been sort of related to sort of why you haven't been able to put out like a video in the last 5 months?
100%. Oh my gosh, depression, bro. She is a fickle mistress.
Fickle mistress. I believe in that, my friend.
Yeah, so it's just a matter. I in this weird spot right now where I'm in. I'm in between projects right now. It's just waiting for like September, October to really hit, and then everything just blows up. But now you just gotta sit and wait for like other folks, and it's just like I want to die.
So are you working with other people with some other videos?
Yeah, I have a big project coming up with the Odd Ones Out, the Amazing, and the Laddie all in one video. And I was, Avengers has nothing on me, dude.
Dude, this is gonna be a massive collaboration. I did not even realize it was gonna be a thing. Is it?
Oh yeah.
Is it a quiet? Is it hush hush? Is this if you speak you get knocked out? Is this what's happening now?
No, I've like posted like 30-second clips on my Instagram like 3 months ago. It's like, guys, look at how cool this is. I'm really bad at keeping secrets.
Good. So you're sort of in the Avengers team. You're like the what's his name, Mark Ruffalo of the team.
I was thinking more Tom Holland.
You're more the I could see that. No, you're definitely the more Tom Holland type. No.
Yeah, not enough girls have crushes on me to be Mark Ruffalo.
I thought it'd be the other way around. I thought no one really had crushes on Mark Ruffalo. Everyone thought he was just sort of like, he's a fun dad. Where it was more Tom Holland had the sort of crush.
Not where I'm from. Everyone loses their minds over Mark Ruffalo.
That honestly seems like a South Park joke where everyone's like insane over like Mark Ruffalo. That doesn't seem like a real thing.
I want Mark Ruffalo's babies inside of me today.
He does have children. We can make that happen.
Oh yeah. Let's get Mark Ruffalo down here and we'll make it happen. We'll have ID checking, of course, and all that other good stuff.
Definitely.
This is spiraling really quickly.
No, don't worry. I've had interviews in the past where we've spiraled into complete chaos within 10 minutes.
Yikes.
So I'll keep this on track. Do not worry. And so, well, I guess like you previously said about the collaboration. So what's like the collaboration? What are you guys working on? And what can you tell us about it?
I gotcha. So there's this family story that we always pull out during dinner parties. in my family. It's an infamous story where I was like 12 and I did one of the dumbest things I've ever done in my life, and it had like massive consequences, and it was just one of the most humiliating things I ever went through as a kid. And so of course my parents love to tell it, and so now I get to draw it and that kind of thing. And since it's just been such a big story in my life, I was like, let's get the A team on this. So I hit up James and I was like, can you read this? And he was like, yeah. And he sent me 40 minutes worth of voiceover work. It was ridiculous. And I guess a big issue I have with people is that when they use the odd ones out in their videos, you know, he just says, let's go to the bridge. That was fun. The end. And he has like such great comedic timing. People don't really take advantage of that. So I sent him just pages and pages of lines that were really funny, according to my girlfriend. And he knocked it out of the park. So
that's amazing.
It was wonderful. You know, and my friends Maz from the Amazing and the Laddie, they are also a part of it, and they crushed it. They all have such different comedic styles, and they brought a lot of character to this new video project. And so now it's like, oh my god, now it's on me to make this not terrible. And that expectations has been eating me alive. I've been working on this for 6 months. And it doesn't look like a 6-month video either. It looks like a regular video.
I know. Oh man, long-term projects, especially like you sort of psych yourself out. I think a little bit as well. It's like you have this thing. It's like this is gonna be a big one, and sort of every day or every like amount of time passes, you sort of just feel like, is this what? Like, am I getting to this point? And I get that.
I've just reached the point where I'm like, it is not going to be it's not going to look like a 6-month project. No one's going to believe me when I tell them it took me 6 months to make. So I just want to get to the end, take my ad rev, and leave. You know, pay my rent. I'm getting kicked out of my apartment next month. So let's get this bread. Woohoo!
Let's get next month's rent.
Mm-hmm.
No,
that's the vibe we're working with.
Oh, good. So, how did you initially start with the YouTube career? Like, how did you start with the animation? Well, not animation. You said it was cartoons on your channel. Am I correct? You don't really like calling it animation?
Yeah. Although I'm starting to realize that people who are insistent about that, like, don't call them animation, they're cartoons. People like that tend to be dicks. So I'm like, I should probably go and change my channel description, because people will start thinking I'm a dick. I call them cartoons. I call them goofs.
Goofs.
I've seen other people animate, and I cannot do that. I will not do that. But to answer your question, how I got started, it was the summer of 2017, and my neighborhood had a wasp infestation, so I didn't want to leave my house. So I was like, what can I do right now? So I took the drawing tablet I got in middle school, and I drew a stupid stick figure, and I took this microphone, also literally from middle school, and I drew pictures, and I told stories, and people seemed to like them. I mean, I wish I had a more dramatic story. I wish, like, oh, my wife passed away, and we went to investigate, and it turns out it was a murder, and she was killed by my friend Harriet. And we met on the top of a building, and it was raining, and then he said, you should start an animation channel, and I was like, you're right. No.
And then you got over your dead wife because the animation was too much of your love there anyway.
Yeah, there were bees. That was it.
Oh, bees.
How did you start your channel? Nasty wasps.
Wasps. Oh, okay, great. All right, that's a good start.
Yeah, you just can't go anywhere outside in that neighborhood. It was like the white trashy neighborhood I used to live in, and so no one took care of their lawns, and bees loved dead grass for some reason. So
fair enough.
That was cool. Yeah, well, that's how we got rolling.
Well, I'm very curious. Even though you mentioned like the just sort of coming at the idea of your I just draw stick figures. Was there any sort of influences, even just from other creators or anything like that, that sort of influenced your style and how you came around to sort of coming to where you are now with your videos?
Oh yeah, absolutely. In the 4th grade, my teacher gave everybody these notebooks, and she said, you're going to hold on to these all year. They're going to be your writing journals. And I was like, oh, cool. And so we would write a story, but I like to doodle as a kid, and so I would draw this I would illustrate what I was writing about. And as the year went on, I continued to write in that journal, even when I wasn't supposed to. And it turned into like this massive collection of comics. There were recurring characters and inside jokes that established themselves. And then every year after that, I would write another of these massive comic books with all these characters. They progressively got more and more sophisticated. Now there are linear plot lines, and there were alternate dimensions, and there was the serial killer who was going around killing all my original characters. And then at the very end, the author, had to step in and say, hey, I don't like you killing my OCs. I'm going to reset the timeline. I'm going to Thanos snap you. And then they wake up in like another universe and it's a fish out of water. It got ridiculous for a 13-year-old kid. But the thing is, I was so focused on the concepts and the stories that I never really bothered to like make good art. You know, I never pushed myself to make stuff more elaborate. As long as the stick figures told the story, as long as I did what I wanted them to do, you know, what else was there? Because I always believed in my concepts more than my artwork, I guess. And so I kind of have that same philosophy on my channel, where I'm not a very good artist at all. And I don't have really influences or anything. They're just stick figures, you know? But I believe in the things that I say, and I believe in the stories that I tell, and my, you know, persona enough where I don't really worry about my artwork too much, you know? So that's my philosophy. It's a lot different than other animators, I guess. So it's pretty fun.
Yeah.
But my storytelling, which I take a lot of pride in, I learned from Swayze, watching his channel religiously. Swayze was the man. Swayze is the man. I would love to meet Swayze someday.
Yeah, so what about Swayze in particular that really struck you to sort of his storytelling, and sort of what did you take from it to try and make your stories, I guess, better?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. He had a very traditional style, not in the sense of like vlogs or that kind of thing, but rather like movie and TV show mentalities, where there is a build-up, a climax, and a finish. And then he would start introducing older characters, and I was just entranced because he wasn't telling these crazy, ridiculous Hollywood stories. They were like these regular, everyday stories, but I was so wrapped up in them as a kid. And so I kind of started to pick up how he would do it, where he would take, you know, a very simple, mundane situation. As long as you include enough details to make people feel like they're in on it, they're super into it as well. So I think he's a brilliant storyteller, and I really try to emulate what he does as well. Does that make sense?
No, I get what you're saying with that one especially. That makes sense. No, it's great having, I guess, you describing these influences, because I can definitely understand how they sort of come into it.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
Yeah, and I guess we've also touching on your current project with working with the other online creators. Has there been any other future goals, especially regarding your channel? Has there been any other sort of longer term thoughts you've had in place?
I gotcha. I remember before I started my channel, I was doing a lot of research on like good practices to have on YouTube. I really got serious about like the analytics and tagging stuff before I even uploaded my first video, because I'm a weirdo like that. And one of those points that really stuck with me was that your YouTube audience doesn't just stay on YouTube. If I were to do a side project, there's a lot of people who would carry into that as well. And there's a lot of other things I want to do besides YouTube, particularly music, which is a big part of my channel, my persona. And so now I'm starting to, you know, make original songs, albums. I'm in a band, and the band is taking off and that kind of thing. So I really want to do more with the band and make it a legitimate, real deal. You know, we're already way ahead of other groups because we don't really need to worry about, you know, starting from the bottom and then climbing our way up. We're already like 3 or 4 steps up, you know? So That's really fun. I want to use my channel to do more for myself without, detracting from the initial appeal. Because a lot of creators tend to do that and they die. So I don't want to die.
Well, and I get what you mean, especially like I watched this great video the other day, talking about like how to start a band, and I'm wondering if like it's by this guy like NateIsLame. He's all right. Like, did that have any influence with how you're starting your band?
Truth be told, don't trust that guy because I hear he only has like 2 songs and he's only played like 10 shows. Like, have you even heard of his band? Like, he has no clue he's talking about. Don't listen to that guy.
Ah, shit.
He's a poser. Shit. Don't listen to him. I just wanted to start a band because my dad would show me all these emo rock bands as a kid, and I'm like, these guys are so cool. And then I got older, and I'm like, they're not cool, but they make money. Cha-ching. So I am just trying to do my own thing and survive on this. I sound really materialistic. That's because I am.
Ah, fair enough.
Wink.
No, I get it. Hell. I love my materials, as you can tell with my nice suit.
Yeah? Is that why they call you red suit interviews?
Damn right.
How many interviewees have you had?
Interviewees?
That stale. Interviewed subjects.
How many interview subjects?
I can't be the first.
Oh,
I mean, how many people have like pointed that out? Like, yeah, is that why they call you red suit interviews?
I don't know about that specifically. Are you asking like how many people have we had on the show, or just asking people?
Just asking about the suit.
Just the
making
suit.
Fun of the suit.
I think everyone at a certain point has asked about the suit. I could be wrong.
It's iconic.
Yeah, I think people just sort of just go like. I think the only person who didn't was your movie sucks, just because he sort of knew what he was getting into. But I think everyone's sort of just gone wow or something like that.
That's really red.
Yeah,
I was expecting like a maroon suit or something, but red. Whoa.
Whoa. Anyway, so you sort of talked there about using your channel especially to, I guess, platform yourself into doing your other projects, especially with your band. Has there been any worry, especially for yourself, of having too much of that overlap? Because I know a lot of YouTubers sort of are worried to like, they have this idea of like on YouTube of what they're meant to be. And I think YMS to a certain extent is that with his channel at the moment. He has his other ones for that. Do you worry about trying to interlap them too much? And has there been any things you've put in place to try and stop that at the moment?
I lucked out because I don't worry about that. Because the persona I have in my music is very similar to the persona I have in a lot of my videos. And a lot of my channel is already rooted very deeply in music. A lot of my most popular videos are talking about the kind of music that I plan on making. And so basically, it's been a really warm reception from my viewers because I already know they're interested in the thing that I'm making. So I kind of have this nice luxury that a lot of other creators don't have. Because I watch Your Movie Sucks for memes. Yeah, and I have a better example. Ralph the Movie Maker. Are you familiar with Ralph the Movie Maker? I watch Ralph the Movie Maker for his goofy persona. His really nasty, spot-on sense of humor. I love it, but that doesn't reflect very well in his films, so I don't really watch them. There's that weird overlap thing that doesn't mix. So I definitely take that into account when I'm pushing other projects. I want everything to stay consistent. So I think I've really avoided that, just staying consistent with how I present myself through my art.
Well, that's a real interesting point. Because I know it's quite interesting that you sort of had that sort of foresight initially with your channel to actually go down that route. Whereas I know like a lot of YouTubers especially are worried to go down where they like to extend out and branch out.
To those YouTubers, I would say experiment, just drop in little elements of what you're planning on doing and see how your audience reacts. For example, if Ralph the Movie Maker wanted to really push his movies on his channel instead of, just a little one-off bumpers before videos, which is about as tasteful as he can get considering his position. Sprinkling little more serious elements, like that would be Ralph the Movie Maker sprinkling more dramatic, serious bits in his videos to cut away from the jokes for a couple seconds. You know, that sort of thing. Does that make sense?
No, I definitely understand that. I think that's a very good point, and I think a lot of, like, even when I've talked, I think that's like a lot of, I think, perspective, or like the idea that a lot of YouTubers sort of go down as well, and I think that's a very effective point as well, because your fans are there to see what you already are, and if you can sort of try and to interlock that as much as possible, it works out.
Just don't blindside people anyway, because they don't like that.
Nah. The best thing to do is wait for a long period of time and then drop something big on them. That's the best time to do it.
Oh, that's so fun. And I'm gonna just boom, 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 boom. It's just I'm just talking about it. People haven't seen the booms yet. There's only so much boom, boom, boom I can show them right now. It's the bummer, you know. I hate this point in the creative process where you just, it's coming.
So yeah, we're right. Like, I guess where you're up to, like, are you up to like editing, like still doing a little bit of animating? More voice acting?
Everything. The animation, the editing, just drawing and drawing and drawing. Because, like, while my art style isn't phenomenal, I don't animate my characters. I draw a lot of the characters to compensate for my own sake. You know, I don't reuse the same 10 stick figures. On average per video, I draw about 500 or 600 stills. And they're all individual files, and I compile those, and it is a mess. So it's kind of like me punishing myself for having such a simple art style. It's like, well, I want to feel like I'm working somehow, or else, you know, I'm going to be looking at what the Laddie does, or Rushlight Invader does, or Jade Animation does. I'm like, well, I'm a piece of garbage. I don't get to hang out with these guys. So it's kind of like a self-validation thing, you know. That's why it takes a lot longer than it needs to. I'm a piece of garbage for doing so, but helps me sleep better at night.
Fair enough. And
that's why it takes me so long.
And I'm very curious, like, what's the, like, can you just go through, like, from the start to the end of, like, the average video made by you? Like, what's the process? Like, do you get a script up, or, like, how do you do it all?
I gotcha. Well, when I was 17, I thought, okay, I'll just take a microphone and I'll say whatever the hell I want, and I will record that and make that into a video. And I did that, and that video sucked. That video was so bad. So I was eating a sandwich, and I was like, I should write this. I should write down what I want to say, make an essay. And then I read that. And then I cut up that audio. Then I drop it into the video editing, and I draw the pictures. I steal the backgrounds from Google Images because, God forbid, I draw. And I add little, you know, 8-bit covers. The trick is, I don't want, you know, I want, like, mainstream music in my videos every now and then. The way to get around that is to drop in 8-bit covers, you know. Not like from other creators. Not from other creators. That's not cool. You don't steal without permission. You just drop it into GarageBand and put it through an 8-bit filter. And you call it good. And they never catch it. Except Panic at the Disco. Panic at the Disco's, they're jerks. More like Panic at the Dicks. Dicks goes.
Panic of the Copyright, yeah. Am I right?
You don't know anything about copyright.
Yeah, no. And I have no idea about copyright anymore. No.
Heard about Daddy Derek. He agrees. And then I watch the video 8 times. I show it to a couple people. I'm like, what needs to change? And once they say nothing, leave me alone. Then I upload it.
Oh, good.
It's just a mess. It's hectic. It's long. Oh yeah, and I draw 5.
600. Oof. Wait, have we lost him? Well, until we get him back, everyone watch. Oh, we got him back. Okay, I was
panicking.
No, that's all right. I was gonna do it. I've got my ready. What to do in the meantime, because we've had this before with other guests where they've just disappeared for periods of time. So
do I need to kick my roommate off Fortnite? Do I need to do that?
No, we should be all right.
Perfect.
We should be all right.
And Idaho internet sucks, bro.
Well, like it could have been. To be fair, it could have been my Australian internet.
No, you're still coming in crystal clear.
Crystal clear, and we are live streaming. Yeah, we haven't had any issues on that front so far. I could be wrong.
Sick.
Drop a 1 if we're breaking up in the live stream. But anyway,
drop a 1, folks.
But I'm very curious. there's a really interesting thing I think a lot of online creators experience, and is that sort of dealing with online popularity, and sort of seeing how that may like manifest in the real world. And I'm just sort of curious, has there been any point where you've sort of gone, oh my goodness, I've got fans out there, and what was that like?
Yes. I had like 10,000 subscribers or so, and my family dragged me out to Cabela's, which is a sporting goods shop for you Australian folks. And I was just looking through like some jackets because I just didn't want to be there. And some guy just walked up, tapped me on the shoulder, and said, "I like your videos." And then he walked away. And I was like, "Oh my God, they're real. They're not just numbers." And I went to go tell my family, and I'm like, "It was that guy. It was that guy right over there." And you know, I didn't say hi or anything. I was like, "Oh, thanks." And then it started happening more often. You know, I would go out to a music store, and then I have a funny story. A dad tapped me on the shoulder, and his kid was like hiding behind his dad's leg, and he was like, "Are you NateIsLame?" And I was like, "Unfortunately." And he was like, can my son take a picture with you? And this kid was like 8 or 9, and he was terrified. And so his dad like shoved him into me. He's like, "Go get him, sport!" And I was like, "Oh my God, he's trying to use me as a learning experience. He wants me to make his son more outgoing." And so I was like, "Hey, what's up, man? How you doing? You doing fantastic? Thank you so much for watching. Let's take a picture." And you know, we took the picture. But the dad said, "Listen, my daughter also really likes your videos, but she's in a music lesson right now. She should be getting right about now. You should go be the one to greet her." And I was like, oh, this is gonna be fun. So I was waiting outside the door, and you know, they're like wrapping up, and they're saying, "Okay, I want you to do this and that." And then she opens up the door, and she sees me, and I'm like, "Hi, what's up?" I did my NateIsLame voice. Yeah. I was like, "Hey, how are you doing?" And she started crying. That was when I realized, okay, I need to cool it a little bit, because I have this ability to make children cry, and I want to use that for
was it the mustache, or was it?
Have you ever seen? It might have been the mustache. But the thing is that I don't take my online fame too seriously. I want to do things that I always wanted other creators to do as a kid. For example, I was working at a retail store earlier, and they had like this bingo sheet. You know, if you get $100 worth of sales, cross this off. Pardon me. And I saw one of them. It said, "Hey, if you post something on Instagram and it gets 20 likes, cross this off, and you get pats from headquarters or something." And I was like, "I got you." So I took one of their like obscure old posts, and I shared it on my Instagram like 8 times, and I said, "Guys, go like this, go comment Frank Iero is a spicy boy, and don't tell them where you came from." And so that night at like 1 o'clock, my coworkers were like messaging each other, "What the hell's going on? What's going on? There's like 800 comments on this, and there's like 1,000 likes. What do we do?" And they said, "Kill the comments," because they couldn't sleep. And so the next day they were like exhausted, and I was like, "What's up with you?" They're like, "We were up all night watching the Instagram because it was blowing up. We have no clue." And I was like, "Oh, that's interesting. If you find out what happened, let me know." And they're like, "We will. That was so weird, man." And
as he sits back,
I like doing fun stuff like that. I really enjoy, because I have like thousands of people I can just throw wherever I want at this point. I really like to rationalize that and say, yeah, I have like a small army of 14-year-olds I can just unleash whenever I want.
That'd be good.
What would you do with that power?
What would I do with that power? Man, that's a hard one. I think I would just get them just to tweet me more jokes to say. I think that would be it. Just tweet me jokes that I can steal.
That'd be good.
I think that's the way you go with it.
That'd be fun. I just like to launch them at small businesses and make them go, "What are we doing?"
Oh, you could fake a boycott.
I don't want to hurt small businesses. I just want them to go like, "Wow, we got famous all of a sudden. Cool. Jerry, did you see the Instagram? That's fun."
Well, you can technically you can start memes at that point. You have thousands just like you could have like local mum and pop's hardware store, and you could just be like, pour one out for local mum and pop's hardware, and just get everyone to tweet that, and then inevitably that's just gonna spread.
That's gonna be wonderful. The stuff like that, you know, man, I would be a really good marketing kid. Someone give me money, please. Did I mention I need rent?
Oh,
There's like $40 in my bank account right now. I need this.
man, I'll take it for you. Don't worry, that's all right. I'll take the 40 if you want to get rid of it now. It translates.
No,
look,
I'm trying to...
it'll give me more money in Australian dollars, so it's actually worth more to me than you when you think about it that way.
Yeah, but what does it mean to you in your heart?
It means everything. It means a new
Yeah.
light bulb, potentially, or two. I don't know how much they'll cost too well.
Thanks. But does that answer your like question though? I guess.
No,
I could,
it
like,
definitely does.
elaborate
But
a bit
that's
more.
actually a really interesting point. I've had guests come on and say some real weird fan stories, like I've been approached in the bathroom, gym showers, stuff like that. Has there been anything like that with you?
Nothing on that caliber, but I did have an experience where as soon as it happened, I was like, that was the strangest fan experience I've ever had. It was at VidCon. So,
Where
I
else
was just...
but VidCon?
Oh my god, I love VidCon. So there was this kid, and he was very nice, he was very sweet, and he was there with his mom, and he was like 15 or 16, but he was a big dude. And he was wearing like this American flag shirt, and it had like a Bible verse on it. And he, you know, and he was like, "Oh my God, are you an animator?" And I was, "Yeah, I'm looking at your shirt. You probably wouldn't like my content, but yeah, I am." And he was like, "Oh, dude, this is crazy cool. Get you to sign this?" I was like, "Yeah, of course." It was very standard. And then he pulled out his camera to take a picture. It was like a $30 toy Walmart thing with like probably 8 megabytes of storage, and it was like, click, and then he like waited like 4 seconds for it to process, and it was like this grainy potato image, and he was like, "Ah, dude, I'm out of memory. Could I have you do me a favor?" And he said, "Okay, could you go sit on that couch for me?" I said, "Okay." So I sat on the couch. And he just wandered over. He put his shoulders on his hips. He just looked at me for a second. And he just went, "All right, I got this memorized. Thank you." I was like, "What?" He like took a picture with his brain, and he was like, "Thank you. You're good to get up now."
For the power of Lord, anything is possible. Oh, man.
I was like, "You are a meme kid. God bless you. You're cool."
Oh, my.
And that is the strangest fan experience I've had so far. That made me smile. I want to be approached with my pants around my ankles in the YMCA locker room someday, though.
That would be great.
That'll be peak.
Look. Oof. Yeah.
A fan saw my butt! Exclamation point, question mark. Not clickbait. Gone wrong. Gone sexual.
Don't worry. I'll make a thumbnail for that one. That's what I'm gonna put. This is gonna be a highlight, this thing, and I'm just gonna quote you there. And that'll be my thumbnail, because technically I'm not clickbaiting, because we did say it.
I did say it.
Yeah.
Didn't
Haha,
happen
YouTube.
Yet.
Got you there.
Got you there. Who wants to see my butt? You'll be in a YouTube video.
Wait till I set up my Patreon, and I'll get you my butt pics soon, alright?
Smiles all around.
Anyway, I guess sort of going into sort of the fan community thing, how have you found sort of online communities, especially with like the animation communities especially, and like sometimes people are sort of like, "I hate online communities, they're terrible," and some people are like, "These are the greatest things in the world." So what's been like your sort of or like your perspective, especially on random online communities that interact with your channel?
I think that communities that take themselves too seriously are just bound to be toxic. Something like 21 Pilots. You ever heard of 21 Pilots at all? Yeah, I talk about them quite a bit on my channel. They drive me up a wall because they take themselves so seriously, because the music 21 Pilots makes is like, you know, mental health, and they're like, "Oh, so that makes it really important by default." and they don't have the self-awareness. So I'm really glad that a lot of the people who have found my channel have this really self-deprecating, nihilistic sense of humor. All these 14, 15, 16-year-old kids is dropping these memes of like, you know, these sick and twisted minions smashing Shrek and stuff like that. Most of it comes from my Amino. I started an Amino page for a sponsorship, and it turned, man, it curdled like milk, and it was glorious to watch the downfall of this community. But now it's thriving, and I'm like, these are the people who watch my videos. They're very cynical, they're very edgy, but they're fun, and we've really avoided drama because no one can offend each other, which is the best part. You know, we still have like moral limits, you know, no racism or homophobia or anything like that, but people are just good at laughing at themselves, and I'm so lucky to have people who are just so easygoing. So amazing. I really lucked out with my online communities.
Oh, that's amazing. I'm really happy that is worked out for you, because I know a lot of people goddamn hate their communities. I follow a lot of creators right now who are at war with their subreddits, who are so angry with any part of their community. So it's great to hear this sort of like, hey, you know, I love it all.
Yeah, tell those YouTubers just drop more memes. Yeah. Fixes everything. You know?
Yeah.
Memes are like the Tums.
Man.
For online creators, you know, they make all the tummy aches go away.
It'll be a Tums festival in there, my guy.
That's probably the weirdest analogy I've ever made. Nah, I've made weirder.
Nah, what is it? It's a finicky witch. What was it? I can't remember.
She's a fickle mistress.
Fickle mistress. Fickle mistress. Hey!
Hey! Oh!
I did that one on purpose. Trust me, all right? But I'm very curious. So you're not you're not anonymous online. Like you've got videos showing your face and stuff like that. So why did you initially come up with start doing videos with the sort of cartoon avatar? And why did that sort of strike you to do the videos in that sort of format?
Growing up, those were my favorite videos, you know, watching Swayze, and then moving on to the Odd Ones Out, Jaden Animations, the Amazing Laddie, Rushlight. I could just name off all of my buddies, because my gosh, there are so many incredible creators. But in reality, I just think that my face is too boring, and for me to just stare in front of a camera and say, I got fucked by a toothbrush, that's not interesting. I want to see people, you know, I want people to be able to see the toothbrush entering my nostrils. I want to see the creepy dude smile. I want, you know, a little bit of motion. You know, that's easy to do with Adobe Premiere. Just slide it up and down and sit out on the timeline and you're good to go.
Fair enough.
You know, I think that's a lot more interesting. So I want to make videos that are easy to watch, and the easiest way to do that is to keep people's attention, because people have the attention span of goldfish. So I need flashy colors to keep their attention, because this is not interesting. I couldn't watch this, so why would I expect someone else to watch this?
Yeah. Imagine having that face for like an hour in just a conversation. It's not even like structured in any way. It's just a conversation for like an hour. I don't know anyone who could watch that.
Yeah, I can barely look at this face for like the 40 seconds at a time when I go into the restroom.
Bloody hell, man.
It about knocks me out.
Lucky there's a camera here, because like, I would have been crying.
Oh, yeah.
I would have cried at least half an hour ago, my guy. Oof.
Oh, yeah.
And, well, I think that we can move on, because I've actually put it into the chat right now a few questions for people that want to ask.
Ooh.
And so we've got a couple responses, so I guess we can go through them. So we have DGK Homa 728 asks, how did you get into music?
I got into music by accident. I had a friend of mine who was in this pretty okay punk band, and they were like, do you know how to play bass? I said, no. So they said, put your finger here, finger here, finger here, finger here. Shows tomorrow. I was like, oh my god. Okay. And I just joined this band, and then I was like, this pleases the narcissist in me. I like people looking at me and clapping for me. I like this. This feels good. in my heart. And so I
You are a bass
to
player, though.
please-
Just gotta point that one out.
I don't play bass anymore. I've graduated to ukulele, as if I wasn't obnoxious enough. Hey, hey. And basically, to just continue to please that inner narcissist, I learned more about how to set up shows, how to record music, and by doing that, I made friends who were more talented than me, and I started mooching off of their abilities and taking credit for their hard work. You know, I'm working with a fellow named Jordan Thornquist who does a lot for me, and he's wonderful and incredible. So just by surrounding myself with people who are smarter than me and just diving headfirst, just knowing people, everything in life is about who you know, and I lucked out knowing some pretty darn cool people, you know. So that's how I got into music, and that's how that kid can get into music too.
Oh wow, I think that's a good way to start. I especially like the idea of this is how you play bass. Boom, boom, boom. See you tomorrow, okay?
To be fair, bass is so easy.
Nah, what? Man,
It's easy, you know. If you don't notice the bass, they're doing a good job.
well, I think it's very hard to notice bassists. Hey,
Hey.
hey.
And music that I can notice the bassist, I don't like it. Red Hot Chili Peppers. I have this long feud with Red Hot Chili Peppers. And everyone's like, well, Flea's good. And I'm like, Flea sucks. I can hear him. So he sucks.
Bloody Flea. See, the only bassist I really care about is a man named Bootsy Collins. Only person I can ever care about. In one of his songs, he talks about ejaculating to a woman's eye, and that's all I can care about.
That's just another Monday for me. Does this look like the face of a Chad? Because I reassure you.
Well, actually, to be fair, we
we're
do
making
have the Chad
changes.
filter on right now.
Is that where the mustache is coming
Yeah,
from?
yeah. If you blink twice, glasses will fall down. So... Oh, there they are.
Hang on.
Oh.
There we go.
There we go. Now there's the Chad. Another question from... Oh, we got a different one. XinQiZoid. I love mispronouncing these names.
Wonderful.
Will you do an animated music video in the future?
No. I will pay someone else to do that. I cannot, and I will not, and I would rather eat tax with no milk. SpongeBob. No, animating sucks. Animating with music sucks. I will just throw money at somebody and have them do it for me because I do not have the patience to do that.
That is fair enough. My goodness gracious me, that would be painful. Do you have any sort of... Because I saw that you did a cover on your NateIsFire. Is it NateIsFire channel?
NateIsFlame.
Flame, sorry. Oh, fuck.
You're good.
NateIsFlame channel. Yeah, you put up a cover. That was... Yeah, are you starting to think of doing more videos like that?
If I'm in the mood. That was just more of a... I really like that song. I was playing with my iPad, and I'm like, let's just throw it up for the 60 people to like. That was it. There's nothing really about it, I'm afraid to say. So...
Fair enough.
Oof.
Oof-a-doof. Well, another question from... How long have we got here? So we've got... Why are Tilley Vinyl? Of your videos, which is your favorite, and which are you most proud of?
I gotcha. The video that is my favorite is the freshman year survival guide, and that is blowing up right now. This is the magical time year for me, because every single year in August, that video gets like an extra 400k views, and it blows up my phone for like a couple weeks. I'm like, yeah, it's like I have posted within the last 6 months, and it's fun. I'm just glad that video is getting the appreciation it deserves. I don't remember making the video. I just remember saying, hey, this is a funny script, and then it just happened. I woke up 3 days later. I made that video in 3 days. That's how excited I was about it. And I uploaded it, and it didn't do so well, and I was like, darn. And then like a couple weeks later, it just spikes randomly. And of all my videos to randomly spike, I'm glad it's that one. And I think that's what I'm most proud of too. That one is like my magnum opus, and I love that video.
I watched it. I really liked it. Like,
Thank you.
it's interesting when you talk especially about like that. And I don't know if I can't quite remember if I experienced this, especially with, because we have like primary school and high school in Australia. So sort of like going to high school, I don't really remember sort of that experience of struggling, especially because you sort of move with a bunch of people that you already sort of know. But
Yeah.
when you sort of like when you explaining and like talking about it, it sort of was just like it was like a really like clear like, oh yeah, like it was really interesting. Even just at the start of the video, where you're just sort of talking about like they prepare for you. Like this isn't a new thing. This isn't like the first time they've had people at the school. They know who you, like what you're gonna do. Okay.
They know you're terrified.
Yeah.
It's okay. Just unload some of that onto their shoulders for a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay. You don't need to be holding all this when you're 14 and scared.
No.
With all your new clothes you bought from Hot Topic that your mom paid. I could go on a big long rant.
Yeah. No. I very much like identify with that, and I was like, wow, this is like a really interesting point. It's like one of those things you just hear it, like you sort of like subconsciously understand it, but like until someone says it, and you're like, huh.
Well, the thing is that when I was going into high school, I was watching other YouTube videos trying to prep me because I was terrified. I was having nightmares about going into high school. And all the videos that I watched sucked. I hated all of them because they didn't make me feel better. Because they didn't give me examples of scenarios that I was scared of. You know?
Yeah.
And when they did provide scenarios, they didn't give concrete step by step solutions that play to my sense of logic as a kid, I guess. For example, no one said, don't worry about your first day because everyone there is terrified like you. They were always like, oh yeah, wear something nice and go in. That almost implied that I had confidence. And I was like, no, this doesn't apply to me. So I just remember having these really vivid memories going into high school. And so I really drew on those. So I think that was fun, I guess, dialing back as a kid, going, why was I scared? And what would have helped me as a kid? And of, you know, seeing all my other friends get in trouble with nudes and drugs and stuff like that, just addressing. Oof. Please don't. You're 15. Wait a couple years. Or at least don't show your face. Dumbass.
No. Oh man. That was
such a fun video.
Even just even with that, and it's like when you did that, just like thinking back to like the people at my school, and you're just like, yeah, why did that actually happen? Like, why would you do that? Why?
Kids are stupid, man.
Yeah.
But that's what's so fun about them. That's what's so endearing.
They're stupid.
You know, I get it. I was stupid too. It's just get you through your stupid without bumping into too much stuff. We'll let you bump into some stuff. We'll make sure nothing spills and crashes, you know?
Or if it crashes or spills, at least onto yourself. Like, just keep it away from us.
Yeah, you take the broom and you clean it up and you slip it underneath the couch before Mom gets home.
That's exactly right. I like that one. And we have another question from the Rock Super Lizard. Thank you, the Rock Super Lizard.
Thank you for a reasonable username, Rock Super Lizard.
I appreciate the thought and effort going into your name. Okay, it's like was it Lizard Wizard Gizzard?
Oof, I don't like that.
What's the band? What's the band? I can't remember it.
Twisted
King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard or something like that. I can't remember.
Twisted Wizard is the band from Wimpy Kid.
Ah.
Oh wait, that was the video game.
Oh, that's right.
I'm a fake fan.
You're only a true fan if you have the create your own Diary of a Wimpy Kid book. That's the fact.
I had to throw mine out.
I found mine the other day. Oof. I was like, yikes. This is some bad shit. Anyway, from King Gizzard the Lizard Wizard.
Jesus.
What inspires you musically?
What inspires me musically? When I was a kid, I kept journals and that kind of thing. In my senior year, I took a really advanced poetry class. And so I have all this source material that I can just draw from that I already made. And so that just makes songwriting a lot easier. And I also really draw from responses from other people. I like people telling me that they enjoyed something I made. You know, I feel like that propels a lot of creators, but there's this stigma of saying, "Oh, you don't want to say that. It makes you sound like a jerk." I'm like, no, there's nothing wrong with wanting people to like something that you made. So I want to make something that, you know, people think is cool, and something that I can stand behind, something that I would want to listen to as a kid. And so that's what inspires me anyway. Stuff I remade because I was in the midst of all the crap I wrote about. So it's a lot stronger, a lot harsher, a lot more real. You know, you pick up all these little details. It's the little details that make a song sad, you know? So, does that make sense? I just ramble.
No, I get that.
I'm really bad
I
at
get
interviews.
That. No, I think that's. It's quite interesting, especially like how you're saying you come from, like the poetry and going from that perspective. Because yeah, I studied doing like writing and stuff like that, and you sort of like even from there, and when you try and go in to write things, you just always like take. It's weird, like you never really appreciate school until you start doing something. You're like, oh crap, you know, it takes a little bit of elements there.
Thanks, school, for the most part. I wish you taught me how to do taxes better than that.
Yeah, hell yeah. But you know, Australians got the best tax system. You click OK on your website government link, and then you go claim tax. You click claim tax, and then you get your money in a few days. It is beautiful and amazing.
That's great. No one told me that YouTube operates off of 1088 forms. Now in America, that means they expect you to hold on to your taxes and then hold those for a year and then pay off this giant sum at the end.
Oh no.
Oh no. So the IRS was like, "All right, so you're going to give us $700, right?" And I was like, "Dad, can you come here?"
Look, I would have gone down to the local massage parlor and said, "Do you need another set of hands? Some tender loving hands, you know what I'm saying?"
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
Money laundering.
Sure, yeah.
Are we on different wavelengths, right?
Well, in Australia, brothels are legal, so.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, we get. Yeah, it's a solid.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I want to go to Australia. Not for the reason you think, though. I want to get a job in Australia.
You want to get a job in Australia?
Be a tax guy, because that sounds easy.
Well, I don't know. This is coming from a man who gets paid tax, and the companies do it. I think if you own your own business, it's a bit of a pain in the ass. But
yeah, but I thought YouTube would do that. They don't. They suck.
Because they treat people like you and I as contractors. Well, more like you. I haven't monetized shit yet, but you know, one day.
Hold on to whatever percent in Australia. Hold on to that, because they are not. They're a fickle mistress.
Fickle mistresses. Fucking fickle mistresses.
What was the original question, and did it have anything to do with?
Oh, I was just talking about what inspired you musically.
That makes sense.
Well, I think we should end it on that beautiful note there. And
taxes and brothels.
Taxes and brothels. And I'm very curious. Where can people find you, Nate? And how? Yeah, what social medias? Where can they find you? How can they give you the love that you deserve?
They can DM me for my address. They can ship themselves to me in a cardboard box if they'd like. I'll provide water once they get here. I'm sure they'll be real thirsty. Everything, I'm at NateIsLame 666 just to make my grandma a little bit upsetty spaghetti. Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. Facebook sucks. And YouTube. I'm NateIsLame, or you could just type in skinny white kid who cries too much, and I'll probably be like third or fourth result.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I
If
might
you'd
be.
like, and I'm sure you'll drop a couple handles in
Yeah.
in your description,
On
right? Right? You
on
can
the
drop some-
description.
Yeah.
Yeah. It'll be the only.
You gotta remember, I can send a lot of 14, 15, 16-year-olds after your ass.
Look,
You don't goof with me.
I'm small enough that I'll take anything I can get.
Not all these 14-year-olds. We shut down a Hot Topic store. We'll do it to you.
Shit. Look, if I can survive Daddy Derek, I can survive anything. Okay. Come at me.
All right.
Please
you
don't.
may have survived
Please
Daddy
don't.
Derek, but can you survive 15-year-olds with daddy fetishes who are named Derek? Yikes! That sounded a lot more cohesive in my head.
Yeah.
That's why I don't live stream all that often.
Well, what a way to end it. What a way to end it. Well, everyone.
Better than Texas.
Better than Texas. Anyway, so for anyone who's watching this right now, don't know who I am, go down the links below. If you're on Twitter or Twitch, go to my YouTube, that sort of thing. If you're on YouTube, follow me on Twitter and Instagram and all that jazz. But anyway, Mr. NateIsLame, thank you very much. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for being part of the show. And I hope I'm excited to see the upcoming project. Is it like an ETA on when it comes out, like in a month?
No.
Oh, okay. Well, anyway.
Whenever I snap out of it.
Oh, good. Well, thank you very much for joining me. It's been an absolute pleasure. And everyone, stick around for next week. We have great guests coming up. Alrighty, so see you guys for the next one.
See you around.
Bye-bye.